What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 211 of the Cheesy Controller Podcast. I'm your host, Anton LaPlatte. Joining me, as always, we have the most degenerate squid in the sea, Jalen Roberts.
Got beans in his CPU cooler.
And we got the Ray Trace Durag, Madrid Devon.
The Bean Deck.
We got a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We're going to be talking about the Switch in 2023. We're going to talk about a lot of the games coming out in this January timeframe. And we're going to talk about Sony's press conference at CES 2023. Alright, so it's CES, the early time of the year where we get a bunch of tech that will either become ubiquitous in a few years or never see the light of day again after the prototype goes back to the company from this current CES.
If they manage to get it back.
Right, like...
Because the Razer laptops were stolen last year.
The prototypes?
Yep.
Hey, yo.
So,
I'm leaving here with something.
right? There's like this wireless TV that's just on magnets and they just are mounting around different places. I'm like... So you have a TV that has a battery that lasts 6 months and can be mounted to anything metal, and you're just leaving it laying around the show floor? But,
changing the battery every 6 months seems annoying.
yeah, but also not having to plug it in. Like, I know a TV is one of those things that gets plugged in and stays plugged in, but not.
Is it like easily? Is it easily detachable, where you just like push a button and the shit like ejects, and you just like
there's a small outlet hole in the back of the mounting thing that you just plug your charging cable into.
So you have to take it down.
No,
That's my thing. As a nigga who's had to take down a TV that's mounted several times over the past few months, that shit is annoying as hell.
Well, this...
Hey, bro, can you help me out real quick?
This would solve all those problems because, like, the magnets, that's the thing. It's just like a put it or take it off, put it lower down. Like, it's not... It doesn't have any, like, hardware mounting. But yeah, so Sony had a press conference at CES that they've done this the past couple of years. It's never made a whole lot of sense. This is where we originally got the PS5 logo, like the iconography. We knew it was called the PlayStation 5, but we finally got the actual logo at a CES. Dang, I guess that was 3 years ago at this point. Because it was pre-2020, because the console dropped... Oh, no, it would have been CES 2020. That would have been where they initially showed that. So this year they showed... The 3 big things they kind of showed were Project Leonardo, which is really cool. It's modular, customizable accessibility controller for the PS5. And it has the same ports that the Xbox adaptive controller has, where you can, if you have any like third-party attachments or whatever, you can hook it up. And it's not necessarily a better or worse thing. Like,
it's just right. It's just more. I wouldn't say more. Yeah, you get a lot of options with it because of the way it's set up. You have like complete flexibility, and you can even pair it with like a regular DualSense controller. That way both are technically connected and functional.
Yeah.
So technically 2 people could be playing, but like, you know, helping out in different places or things like that. But it's definitely super cool, and it seems like they put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, considering the groups they worked with, the accessibility groups that they've been like they use, the ones that I knew were Stack Up and Able Gamers, and so just those are like two of the gold standard accessibility groups. Like I know I saw Steve Saylor, the blind gamer, like say like, hey, I'm not trying to go viral over this. Yes, I helped develop it. He was the one saying that it's not necessarily a Xbox or PlayStation is doing better than Xbox. It's just more options out there. So
let's be 100 here. At this point in time, the whole point of a console war is kind of mute. Like, the entire point of it is just like, people just want to play games at this point.
yeah,
As long as you're enabling people to play games, that's really the only thing that matters.
and this is Microsoft and PlayStation for a long time in their first party games. Like every year, both Microsoft and Sony have a first party game in the one or the other. Not necessarily both, because Xbox As Dusk Falls I think was one of them for this year. So every year, both these companies make like huge improvements on the game front for accessibility, and I know Ubisoft's really good at it too.
It's the only thing they're good at.
But yeah, so games, the software is getting more accessible, and I'm glad that the hardware is now starting to get more accessible.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this controller, it legitimately looks like a piece of future technology. Like the shit looks cool as hell. It looks like like two drones that spit out smaller drones. This is very interesting.
It looks like something out of Killzone Shadow, straight up.
Don't know what that is, so I'm gonna believe you.
It is a pretty good PlayStation shooter.
Yep. It is. Well, I'd say it's incredibly okay. It looked really good.
No, it gets a pretty good. It got a pretty good. It was pretty good.
Would they just drop you in a zone and be like, kill?
No. Killzone is a whole thing about the humans and the Helghast and invading Helghan and then
committing war crimes.
Yeah, committing war crimes.
Okay.
Everybody gets at least
That's familiar.
Heck, the big plot of fucking the PS4 one was the fact that you nuked the Hellcast planet in the third game.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're fighting aliens?
Enough, it was surprised.
But they were like just humans that got like.
They were space humans.
Yeah.
Like it's what happens in any future where you have like solid space colonization.
Well,
heck, let's be 100 here. It's not even an original plot because that's the plot of Halo before the Covenant showed up. That's the plot of a lot of Gundam series.
Most.
Okay, all of them.
Yeah, most was generous.
Right. Shit, technically that's the plot of Dune.
Shit. Like, Carolyn Tuesday was on the verge of that.
It was happening in the background.
Right. It was like, yeah, we want to stop immigration to Mars. It's like, okay, what's next? A full-out war with the Earth? It's the next step. Like, let's be real.
We're going to sing through all of this. So, getting back to games, one of the other things that Sony showed at CES was PSVR 2. And if you were on the fence about getting PlayStation VR 2, like, I definitely wasn't. I was... This is too expensive, and for the amount of use my two different PSVR ones got, I think
they did not support the PlayStation VR well enough to justify.
I mean, there was support. I'm still on the PS.
I said enough.
Well, not from Sony first party, of course not. But because they don't support shit. Like, you're lucky they support the home consoles. They didn't. what would happen would be, for the longest, and it still could possibly happen, Sony does some weird shit, and then they're like, all right, all of y'all go make PlayStation Move games. All of y'all go make PlayStation Vita games. All of y'all go make PlayStation VR games.
Just interrupt what they're doing.
Yeah. And then all of those games underperform because the hardware underperforms, and Sony closes all those studios. So... I mean, Bend is the only one that's really survived that, but outside of that, Sony's entire stable got in after they did a game that performed and then got a lot of money and made another game that just did even better. So that's the exciting cycle of a PlayStation first party.
Yeah, but I also feel like PlayStation's first parties are more pushed by PlayStation first party games are to sell consoles.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. And so if you don't have the hardware adoption, those games have a limited reach.
Right.
So then Sony abandons them, which causes that looping problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or they make the dumbass idea to team up with AT&T and fuck up one of the best handhelds ever made. But
the AT&T thing wasn't even the problem with the Vita.
It was the first problem. It was the adoption problem.
The first problem was the memory card. The proprietary...
Goddamn fucking proprietary ass memory cards.
The bullshit... The biggest... For a system that you would be using primarily digitally, the largest capacity proprietary storage, it's not even an SD card, like a memory card for it is 64 gigs. And that costs more than a Vita.
Now hearing that the PlayStation VR costs more than a PS5, everything continues. The cycle continues.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. They showed PSVR. They talked, I think it's 30 games coming at launch. Beat Saber is not going to be there day one. So, yeah, if you were on the fence, Beat Saber, the definitive, quintessential VR game, just isn't there.
I played it for one song at a VR bar. Did not like it.
Game?
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. I don't like rhythm games though.
I do like rhythm games. Oh, Metal Hellsinger. I played the demo for that shit. Because I was listening to Giant Bomb's Game of the Year, and
I keep saying it was robbed on soundtrack. That game was fucking robbed.
That game was fucking robbed. That soundtrack, I put that shit on and got in the shower and cleaned the shit out of my when you're headbanging and washing your face simultaneously, you know the soundtrack.
The blood of my foes.
That's when you know. Metal Hellsinger should have got because I played the demo. I'm thinking about picking up the game because I wasn't amazing at it. And you can see, because it's a rhythm game, how high the skill ceiling is and how, with the gameplay and the visuals and everything going along with the music, you could see how that game, a speed run of that game, would just be nonstop 16 multiplier. The vocals are, on 10 the entire time. You are doing something on every single beat. It's like Crypt of the Necrodancer and Cadence of Hyrule are the games I'd liken it to most, more than a Beat Saber or a Guitar Hero or a Trombone Champ.
What about Doom?
See, if Doom
Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Yeah, honestly. And so the demo's on everything.
And they raised a happy, loving child.
I know. I mean, yeah. Except if it were full of hate and demons. Because it is called Metal Hellsinger. And then the cowboy narrator. Is that somebody's voice I should know? That's one of those voices, like, I feel like I've heard this voice, but I don't automatically know who is narrating it. Hope it's not the voice actor for Jesse McCree. I mean, Cole Cassidy.
Because, it is...
Oh, that's...
It's Troy Baker.
It's Troy Baker?
It's Troy Baker.
Oh, wow.
That's the... Okay.
That's one of the other voice actors that's fucking everywhere.
Well, Troy Baker
The voice of the cowboy.
The voice that's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Number one voice in the biz, Troy Baker. Sometimes.
I was going to say the cowboy from Overwatch is also Jotaro English dub. So.
But yeah, so PSVR, not going to have Beat Saber, going to have a bunch of weird shit. It is really like that. So
their main thing is going to be Horizon Call of the Mountain. It's like, yeah, here's Horizon in VR.
But that is not enough to sell a $600 headset.
That is more than the console in and of itself. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's $550 for just the headset, but $600 for the headset and Horizon. Well, headset and controllers. Controllers are included in everything because they don't want don't want anybody using the light up vibrators.
We just got two Rose toys. Why isn't it working? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on VR as a whole, and I'm definitely not about to get like a hardwired PlayStation VR headset for $600.
Yeah, VR isn't sold on VR.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like Justin Roiland was on Kind of Funny talking about High on Life, and like he is a real deal VR believer. I mean, like he was on Accounting Plus. He made Trover. Well, his team made Trover Saves the Universe. Like he is a stern believer in VR, and was saying that Nintendo needed to make a VR headset, even though they have the Labo VR, which is. I wanted to like write in that day because I was like, yeah, Nintendo already has a VR where you take off the Joy-Cons, you put the Switch screen into a piece of cardboard.
How soon they forget?
Right. I mean, you really got to be.
Instead of Labo, and then they never did it again.
What'd you say?
Did they ever make a second or third series of Labo?
Yeah, the VR was one of the later series. It wasn't part of the initial wave. The initial wave was like the piano and the fishing rod and like the little hex bug type deals. And then
is that Mario Kart? Is that like Labo also? Like the one with like the AR and you kind of build your own tracks around your house?
That's not Labo.
So that's just
that is Mario Kart.
It's just Mario
Live
Kart
Circuit. I think that's what it's called.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, so Metal Hellsinger, we were talking about Beat Saber rhythm games. That's how we got to Metal Hellsinger. Play that demo if you haven't. It's worth a try if you like rhythm games.
The also problem with VR, that's the biggest problem, is just the fact that it's not. You can't look at it and say that it's worth the ungodly amounts of money this is that you spend on it.
Well, the better end of VR is the stuff that's getting cheaper, even though the MetaQuest went up in price. But the MetaQuest is cheaper than any of these other options. Like all of these PlayStation VR, you needed a PS4 and a VR headset that was the same price as the PS4. PS5, you need a PS5 and a PSVR 2 that is more expensive than the console.
Yeah, that's already about a stack. Like just the two of those together.
Right. Vive, or whatever, the Valve Index, whatever the hell they're calling their VR headset these days, like, you need a PC that, like, is getting cheaper to get a PC that can handle VR.
Yeah, because it's like you only need a 970 or a... You either need a GTX 970 or an RX 480.
Yeah, you don't really
that's
need...
not that hard.
Right.
That's not that hard.
Like, my graphics card can run VR, so, like, I know it's not, like, the most demanding thing. So the options of having a PC that can run VR are getting cheaper, but because they went from the HTC Vive to the Valve Index, they upped their price of VR, and then Meta has, like, the super high-end one that's a few $1,000s per unit. They're like, yeah, this is for the enterprise level if you want to do VR, but it got picked up by gaming circles, and it was like, oh shit.
Well, okay, my other thing is, what VR games are really that good to justify that $1,000 purchase?
Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Boneworks is really good.
I mean, how much Half-Life Alyx are you about to play?
It's a full ass, like.
All right, play the fuck out of that game. I enjoyed. It's the next part of Half-Life. Like, come on, the Half-Life story actually moves forward too.
That's the thing.
So when you're sitting down to play VR, how long are you going to play it in a stint? Like, are you going to play it for 30 minutes? Are you going to play it for 2 hours? Are you going to play it for 2 hours every day?
Really, I see myself getting too deep in the VR chat. Honestly, like the combination of 3D modeling, making your own character avatars, and then going into a virtual space and hanging out with people. That's where I see I would end up spending too much of my time.
I'm gonna go and.
I'm not trying to hang out with VR chat weirdos.
Google Earth. Like, if Google Earth had ever come to PSVR, it would have ruined my life. Because it's just
that would be fine. Street
view data of the entire world. So you could just, like, pop up on a random corner in Tokyo. And
yeah, nigga, I'm on your block.
Yeah, just Twitch stream doxing my friends.
Come outside. What? Come outside. That would be scary. It's like, whoa, how the fuck are they live sending data to you? I guess so. Is that in the terms and conditions? I think so. Fuck.
Then you find out that they're at a location from like 2003 Street View data.
Right, and then it becomes like one of those Japanese like dramas. It's like, oh no.
Time travel. Why is that always somehow the answer in a lot of Japanese movies? Is time travel? I'm like,
because they can go back to a better time, you know.
And also, part of the difference that I've noticed in the movies is a lot of movies that we make are man overcoming fate, overcoming environment, while over there, and including China, it's a lot more people at the whims of their society and environment. And also, they have a cultural history that they can be kind of proud of. Like, what the fuck are you going to do time travel in America for?
I mean, you could totally talk to Umbrella Academy about that one.
Umbrella Academy, didn't they go forward, though?
They went back.
They did both.
Yeah.
They did a lot. They went up and down and left and right.
Yeah.
And diagonal.
How far in the
and
past?
spiral.
JFK, I know they were definitely there for JFK. So that's too far back for me personally. So
it's in the one black character on under a racial arc of like fuck. I have to go do protests and sit-ins. And she came back with a newfound racial trauma.
JFK was 40 years ago?
Literally 40 years. Like November this year, JFK would have been assassinated 40 years ago.
That's too far back. I'm not 40 yet. That is pre my
Yeah,
lifetime,
that's-
and I mean, shit. Even during our lifetime, there have been atrocities. So
This is
Yeah.
America.
I wouldn't
We are
want to go
made of
back
atrocities.
to the date of my own birth. Shit.
Yeah, like
Honestly,
hearing about some of the shit that even my parents had to deal with as kids, I was like, yo, this shit is different. That's how I always knew that racism and prejudice existed. Because they're like, yeah, I basically got picked on for being black. Like people would ride by and throw shit out of the windows, like battery acid and like rocks at kids. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell? You're walking to school?
every society had a lower class caste. Somebody's like, hey, these are the people that you can be an asshole to while we fuck up your economic situation.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been. People will let a lot of economic fuck shit go on as long as there's someone worse
Someone
off.
below them. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. They will.
I don't even know how to pivot from this into the Gran Turismo movie. That was the next thing. Gran Turismo 7's getting a PSVR update. I don't know if I had played that yet by the time we recorded last, but I played it and it is still just car porn.
That's the type of games that would really, really help VRs. We need more ship games, more cockpit games. Where you're sitting in a chair. Like, where the fuck is my VR Armored Core? Where the fuck is my VR Gundam?
VR cock.
It's called Bakemono.
Yeah, it's on
Steam?
PC.
Steam VR. Bakemono. If you want your Gundam Armored Core Daemon X Machina VR anime bullshit, that is your game 110%. You like it's like beam sword, pistol, like your options. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely smooth.
Yeah, definitely. If that is what you were looking for in a day of spending too much time in VR, that is the game.
So
I mean?
with the Gran Turismo VR, can you set up with the full fucking steering wheel and gas pedals and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, that's dope.
Because it's the same tech.
Oh man, are Gran Turismo niggas about to carry PSVR 2? Is that what's gonna happen? Because they'll do it.
Because instead of buying VR, they brought like 80-inch screens.
Yeah.
And fancy chairs.
You got a bunch.
I'm sure they're down to. I'm sure they're down to try both.
Cockpit like in the floor in the room. Just go get down in it. Put your feet up, your hands up. You're not even sitting at the angle you'd be sitting to drive. You're like somehow suspended upwards.
You gotta have options, you know. I'm sure all that they're like, damn, I just want to be there though too, and they'll put on the helmet and then realize it was a mistake. But they always have that option going forward.
I will say, full feedback seats with the VR helmet.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good time before you lose all grip with reality.
Oh no, there'll be gunshots in the background. That'll keep you grounded. It's like you're tethered. Oh, okay. Oh.
Wait. I'm on a track in France. That's outside. That's real. That's real.
Okay. Whew. Thank God. It's like Inception.
It's like the way you can.
But you live in a dangerous area. Oh man. That's me playing 14. All right, when I'm finally there. Okay. Whew.
It's thick, Judge Judy.
Yes. Was Judge Judy thick at the end? Was she thick?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes? Jalen, yes or no?
Probably. Let's be honest. This is America. Probably.
I don't think she was.
I mean, the whole show was just like surrealism, so it would make sense. like for it to all have been a dream?
The answer is no. The answer is no.
I mean,
The answer is no. But if it is yes, then that would also imply that he was in a place where he still went and was going to do the immersion therapy. So he wasn't doing that as a broke boy.
I guess.
He ain't cheap. So what do you? So like that ain't a cheap activity in the first place.
Right.
The Switch just hates me. I just want you to download Splatoon.
It's because you hate it. It knows that you feel insecure about it. It knows that you judge its frame rate and its lack of themes and the fact that its online infrastructure is non-existent.
The fact that everything else has a higher graphical fidelity than it.
Right.
That games run like pudding on it, you know? It knows that you feel this way. It remembers you said Apex was dipped in Vaseline. It ain't forgot.
Half their games are dipped in Vaseline. And it's not even dipped anymore. It is now completely smothered, rubbed down, smacked.
Vaseline's in the screen, man. Vaseline's in the screen.
Vaseline's coming out of its mouth and eyes, just like oozing out of its orifice.
So imagine hog tying an actual pig to a stick and having a vat of Vaseline and dipping it in there and turning it like you were
slow cooking it. Oh man!
You ever seen those screen protectors installations? But instead of alcohol to clean your screen, it's just fucking Vaseline. They got the squeegee and everything.
It's the PC. It's the PC that's submerged in beans.
Not the bean machine.
Yeah, I got a bean.
You got the bean deck?
The bean deck.
You gotta.
That's what the Switch is a bean deck. Oh!
Oh no, not a bean.
No!
Fuck.
Oh man! Wow. Episode title: Bean Deck.
It was gonna be submerged in Vaseline. Now.
Oh man.
I feel like you need a little more context for the bean deck.
Nope.
But yeah, so Gran Turismo is also getting a movie of the true story of the guy who won a tournament on PS3 and then became a professional race car driver because of Gran Turismo.
That's cool.
They're doing a movie about that guy, so that's cool. You know, I have very little to no faith in any of these PlayStation TV productions except The Last of Us. The Last of Us, I have my utmost faith in. Everything.
The one I have the most faith of is the Horizon.
Horizon.
Yeah.
They're sucking off The Last of Us a little too hard for me. Now I'm gonna watch it. And the Horizon, I think that's going to be pretty good. I
think Horizon.
It's not hard to fuck up, you know?
Yeah, but then also the thing with Horizon is all you got to do is have one really good, mostly practical fucking Roboraptor from the game, and the show's already a shit. That's all they need.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be a TV show budget, so I think it's going to be
Here's something else about the budget, though, is the problem with a lot of TV budgets, though, is what they spend on is they spend it to make sure you watch it in the first week. Because, part of why Stranger Things cost so much was music licensing.
But
when you're running up that hill. I don't want to get us a copyright strike, so I'm not going to say anymore.
Oh yeah,
Look,
we are. It would just take down the Twitch thing.
Bush is like the literary kid who became a singer, and I love her. It's great.
Podcasting has like the loosest rules of like music usage. It's just like all you got to do is actually say something, and it becomes fair use. So you could just play a whole song and just be like, "That chord right there is awesome."
Yeah, but the thing about it though is you're not really that protected by fair use when a bot catches the little bit of actual copyrighted music and fucking mutes your entire stream.
Yeah, stream, yes. YouTube, yes. Podcast services around the globe, no.
Oh yeah, on podcast services you're fine, but where are we right now?
We are on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, but not simultaneously, because if somebody's listening to these words, the odds are, if you're not watching live right now on Twitch, you're watching it on YouTube. Or listening to us on podcast services around the globe. CheesyControllerPodcast.com. But, yeah, the Gran Turismo movie, I'm not... Yeah, I have no faith in Twisted Metal. I have no faith in Horizon. I have no faith in... And I think there's going to be a Days Gone show, which I'm like, why is that not just Sons of Anarchy? Or The Walking Dead? I think you're better off watching either of those shows than you're going to be off watching Days Gone, the TV show.
There's a Days Gone TV show coming out. Oh,
Kind of turn everything into
Everything.
no! Oh no! The Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another one. It's like, how do you fuck that up? Would literally be not hiring the right people as actors. That would be it.
Writing.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, because a lot of shows do that. Forget what they're actually making to try and do some random shit halfway through. Like with Ghost, you're making a samurai movie. That's what you're doing. Just
go do that.
Sit down, watch Seven Ronins, watch a couple of cowboy flicks, and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm. Flashbacks, put that shit in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Go full Kurosawa mode. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Heck, and once again, Horizon itself could be good, especially if they use their budget wisely.
I have zero faith that they do that. The only, and I mean,
I don't even have real faith in the Last of Us show. I really think that the main reason why they're pushing it so hard is because
it's HBO. Like,
not only, yeah, but it's also like I feel like we're going to get a Last of Us 2 remaster or some shit like that.
Probably.
It's like we're going to get
an actual PS5 version.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't have a native PS5 version, so we are probably going to get that. I'm surprised we haven't yet, considering it came out the month before Ghost of Tsushima, and Ghost of Tsushima got that treatment.
They made the first one.
They're like, yeah, let's work on the engine for this upgrade.
That's what Naughty Dog
by remastering
the last 2 generations. So it's not honestly surprising, because that's why we got The Last of Us remastered. They're like, all right, yeah, we're gonna make Uncharted 4, but we need to remaster The Last of Us using this hardware, because we're coming from the Cell architecture to x86, and so we're gonna essentially port The Last of Us to a different tool set before we give you Uncharted 4. And that's why Uncharted 4 took so long in the generation to come out, is because Naughty Dog at the beginning of the generation just ported The Last of Us. Why have we not gotten a Naughty Dog game or an announcement of a Naughty Dog game this generation? Well, technically Factions, but that was announced last generation. They were like, all right, Last of Us Part 2 is coming out. It's not going to have multiplayer. We're putting it out into its own game. And then went quiet. And then last year at Summer Games Fest, they're like, all right, here goes the first piece of concept art. Now going into the show, we're getting this second piece of concept art. And I'm like, yo, this game has been... It's been years When did The Last of Us
It
come
was
out?
ambitious.
2020? So it's been 2 years of The Last of Us Part 2 being out and us not getting factions. And yeah, I
Yep.
think the show's going to get me to play Last of Us Part 1 because the show, I have faith in it because it is HBO and like that everybody attached to it. The fact that Neil Druckmann is directly working on the show. And so it's like how Kubo worked on Thousand Year Blood War. It's like, all right, we can add to this, we can take away from this. Like, this is how we can adapt this for this medium over this medium. And so having Neil Druckmann in the, like, guiding the show, I think the show, it just has a lot of potential. And it's a really good story. And it being the HBO premiere thing for, like,
I want to say it's a fairly easy show to make in this day and age. The Last of Us would be a fairly easy show to make.
Yeah, and it seems like they're doing a lot of practical effects and stuff. So, like, it has the makings of the first episode is going to be a movie length. It's like an hour 20 minutes, and I know that first episode is going to fuck people up. I am ready for the first episode of The Last of Us.
When is it? It's this month, right?
Yeah, the 15th. I want to say.
The 15th.
It's right before the.
So next Sunday.
Yeah, it's right before Monster Hunter Rise, and something else comes out that day that I was looking at. I was like, oh, I'm definitely not going to play this because Monster Hunter is coming out. Oh, it was Persona. So yeah, in 2 weeks, it's Persona 3 and 4, The Last of Us, and Monster Hunter Rise.
I'll play this version of Persona 3. I will say is Persona 3 being my favorite Persona game, it's not.
Did you see the rumors crop up again that is what the B team at, like, the B Persona team?
I'm going to say right now, I don't really care until I actually get the game. Like, honestly.
Persona 3 remake?
Yeah, that's the rumor. The big rumor this week is, like, ahead of Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden coming out everywhere in a couple weeks, that the reason they're doing Persona 3 Portable is because they don't, like, that version and that content is going to be, like, the FemC, I don't think is going to be in the remake. I think the remake is going to have...
Pointless. They should put her in the remake. Like, because that's the thing about it. It's like most of what... Because one, you already have her model. You already have her model in dancing.
Yeah.
And then also,
dancing has
dialogue. It's just dialogue. All the extra stuff for FemC is just dialogue.
Well, it's scenarios. And when you're modeling...
Really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, it's like you're interacting with different characters in different places at different times.
You have the ability to. But also it's kind of also not it. Like the only technically, if you get with a character, that character does not die, which causes the whole, you're able to interact with this character outside of where you usually be able to interact with them. But outside of that, it's like, no, it's basically a carbon copy of the same game outside of like the fact that you could date the boys.
So this time you can save the boys.
One of them.
Well, you can save one of them. You can save Akihiko.
No, Akihiko's too good. He survives this. He survives everything.
Oh, well.
Like Akihiko is like, I will put straight hands on death. I have that ability.
Akihiko goes full
Akihiko's go. Hey, he showed up in arena in nothing but a cape and a hand.
The cape and a combat knife. Just on the side. It's like, I don't use this. I use these.
It's for aesthetic. Catch these hands.
In case I need to cut some rope. I could punch it, but
Like, oh, this knife, this is for opening up cans when I get myself a snack.
I eat my beans cowboy style. Out of my deck.
green Joy-Cons.
I don't know. Well, I guess we got to wait for another Persona concert to get confirmation of confirmation of confirmation.
Right. They'll have an announcement for a countdown to a countdown.
That announces another countdown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever. I'll just keep my eyes peeled for when that day actually comes. It's not a big deal.
And I mean, it's going to happen in the middle of the night for us because of Japan time. So it's like somebody's going to wake up groggily at like 3 a.m. and be like, oh shit. They just announced.
They're doing it. Post in the Discord. Nobody sees it until 12 hours later.
Right. It gets dropped in the wrong channel, but they were too half asleep for anybody to realize. Be like, this ended up in shit post, but is this a shit post or?
True story.
Yep. Happens all the time.
Every time.
Or somebody else posted it, and like you posted after the reactions to somebody else posting it. You just got to tell them to scroll up.
Scroll up. Cool.
Okay, so we talked about 2 weeks from now being stacked.
Absolutely.
This week is going to be stacked. Tuesday, One Piece Odyssey is getting a demo. 6.3 comes out for Final Fantasy 14, and TMR Knockout City is migrating over to Epic Games. So,
oh yeah, you gotta like set your account up for Knockout City, or else I think you're gonna lose your shit. So I think I need to go in and download and just see what I need to get sorted. Just so I have everything.
All you have to do is open the game, and if you've ever played a game that links your PSN with your Epic Games account, it'll link your Knockout City data to your Epic Games account. So if you've played Fortnite or Fall Guys or Rocket League or...
I think the only one out of those that I've played is Fall Guys. So that should be good there.
Yeah, but you still have to open the client and like physically say, hey, migrate this stuff, or it goes away.
Cool. I can do that. I might do that today.
Yeah, the file wasn't even that bad of a download. I just downloaded the game, opened it, like got into the lobby. Like I saw it do all this stuff beforehand.
I even played some matches, man. Knockout City's fun as fuck.
I wasn't.
It's sweaty now, but it's fun. All right, I'll have to wrangle somebody else in. But yeah, I know you're saying I'm caught up. I am basically caught up. 6.3 drops on Tuesday. I'm excited. I'm getting my item level up, getting ready for this next level of the Alliance raid. Yo, no shit. Me, Darren, and Jawan queued up last night for Alliance raid. We meant to just like do Aglaya, but we did the daily Alliance raid, and it put us in Aglaya. We're like, hey, yo, what the fuck? What? Not Crystal? You serious?
Did you have a first time player in that?
Was there a first time player?
I'm willing to bet there was a first time player in there. Like, this player is doing this for the first time. You get extra poetics.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. Now I know we sat there for a second because somebody was in cutscenes. Okay, yeah, there was a first timer because Darren was in cutscenes because he didn't turn off his cutscenes. But there was a samurai that was also doing it for the first time. So that was clutch. I'm like, damn, 2 birds, 1 stone. I get the extra poetics because I needs that. The extra tombstones. And yeah, that was clutch. I was shocked. I didn't know that happened. I just figured other people don't have raids unlocked.
I I mean, that's the thing as you get further and you unlock more stuff. Because that's what Juwan and I did. We, the other night, got 2 trophies. Radic was in there with us, but Deontay, it was me, Radic, Juwan, and Deontay. And Radic went AFK, and we're like, all right, it's getting late. Let's do these Savage Alexander shits. And we did 2 out of the 3 that we needed to do for... We did them unsynced, and it, like... There's just a white mechanic, and we can't drop enough DPS without having 3 people. Even with both of us,
No.
like, I was Gunbreaker, he was Warrior, and so we just need one more person, and we'll do the Savage unsynced We can do the Binding Coil to get anybody the trophy that doesn't have it from Binding Coil, because those are honestly soloable, and like with more people, it's actually quicker. But the Alexander, we could run through all 3 of those, because like the 2 that we did the first one and the third one, and it was super easy. The second one,
did y'all fight Twinkle D Dinks?
No, it was like
I swear to God, on fucking normal raids, that is the only one that we've gotten all week.
The Gobbledygook Groper,
the Gobbledygook Groper, the Twinkle Dink. God damn, I think it's like the Cuff of the Father or the Fist of the Father. Oh man.
Well, yeah, we had to do the Burden of the Father, then the Burden of the Son, then Soul of the Creator.
Yeah. But I also see the benefit of running dailies on your level 90 character now. I'm like, oh, you get these tomestones.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm like, I don't have to just do this to level my lower tier niggas. Ah. I see the vision now. I get it. Also, I went and picked up Rogue, and I've been playing, playing through that.
You're turning into a ninja.
Yep.
This is the cool thing about being on the other side, where there's just like, there's current content for me to do. There's so much shit that I missed that I can just go back and just like fuck around on, or I can just sit back and do dailies and work on leveling like my Sage, or my Gunbreaker, or now my Rogue, or my Mechanist.
Also helps.
That EXP boost. You feel me? Like the more 90 characters I get, the better. This is awesome.
Heck, I have been working my way through Endwalker. I'm in the snow.
Okay.
Fuck.
I'm in the snow. Everything's a bit sad. People have died.
Isn't it always sad when you get to where the snow is? Because Darren pointed that out. It's like, yeah, every time you go there, it's always fucked up.
Kevin's word music intensifies. Yeah, that shit. Oh,
literally
man.
died by beast because they didn't want to trust barbarian Eorzean magic.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. I feel kind of bad for y'all, but like at the same time,
like the part of me that hates imperialism and sees the brainwashing, how much propaganda and brainwashing it's required to do to their own citizens, America, for it to function.
They had literal brainwashing and super literal brainwashing.
Right. You had the propaganda, and then also we will temper you. What the
we will fucking temper you to redacted. Oh my god!
Like,
yo, let me know when you get. Let me know when you get to that. Was it a trial or a dungeon?
It's a trial.
Because I'm down to run it. It's a trial. Ooh.
I'll probably hit it in the next couple of days.
Hits it today. Fucks around, opens up 14.
Fucks around, finds out. Yo.
It's not fuck around and open 14. 14's already open.
Yeah. Also, I got my Rathalos today. I finally unlocked that trial. I just happened to be in the right place and I was talking to somebody.
Get it. You unlocked it.
No, I didn't. I unlocked the trial for it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got to beat that trial and then you got to do the extreme unsynced. And just the more the merrier with that one.
It's cool. Yeah, I just happened to be in Kugane and saw a blue exclamation point. And I was like, let me just click on this, see what it says. I'm like, is that a power dog? it had like the Monster Hunter World icon. I was like, oh, this is it.
Yep.
Let me do this. Let me get this. Let me get this in my stack.
The Grand Hunt.
Yeah. So I definitely like see the vision with like the expansion dropping, and then you go through that content, and then like the patches come and just like here's some more. This is just like drip feed you.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of keep you in the ecosystem, but it's like it also respects your time because it's not like a bunch of bullshit to do. Something that you really want to do, but also we're going to kind of like partition you from being, you know, super powered in like the first week, because like each raid you got to grab one piece of gear from each level, and you have to wait for that shit to reset a week. And then with this upcoming patch, I can finally go through and do that shit and just pick all the pieces that I need now, and then go do the next Alliance raid. I'm like, damn, this is dope.
The circle of life.
The circle of life. I get it. The gameplay loop, it all makes sense. I like doing all these different like all this different content has really kind of like changed my outlook on the game. Like I'm getting better at it on multiple levels. It's to the point where I even want to go in and like update some of my OG hotbars because I see where I can optimize it.
Now that I have all 4 tanks,
but it's like
I'm waiting
that
on
push and pull of my
rework.
muscle memory.
If I get this Paladin rework, once that hits, I have like a flow chart I'm working on of like, all right, so this with this, these are my debuffs. Put all these over here. These are all my
once you start
buffs.
organizing your bars, it's nice. It's nice. My first bar are my main heals. My second bars are my first level of cooldowns, and my third bar is my. Those are my in case of emergency buttons.
See,
like I don't want to press those. Those are buttons I don't want to press.
I don't want to play mouse and keyboard, but
man, level 90 has me pressing buttons that I do not press on Scholar. That's just got me pressing buttons.
Oh,
buttons.
Just buttons.
Emergency tactics activate.
Oh my god! Don't you hate it when the boss goes into some bullshit phase right as you summon your hyper fairy?
Celine, not Celine. Sophie, Satisfy. Yeah.
I will only call it hyper fairy.
Yeah, that shit.
I just had to throw my Switch in the dock. That shit was dying rapidly. It's like, damn, these downloads.
Whew, got hands. Yeah, that, and also like just keeping up my like being on top of my burst window. Just like every 2 minutes, just all right, let me put this shit back on you. Or let me give us if I'm playing on Reaper, let me give us this damage boost. So yeah, it's dope. That's why I'm excited to kind of like play around with a rogue and, you know, level that up. Like I spent a day and I went from 1 to like 12 or 13. And I'm like, damn, this slow level grind is also kind of a bitch. But, you know,
I feel like
it's cool.
Isn't Palace of the Dead still faster?
Yeah. We ended up doing like a run of Palace, and that got me like 3 levels.
We were doing hunting log, job quest, and Palace.
Yeah, it was one. I was like, damn, it's time I go pick up Rogue, and then we all just kind of sat there.
Speaking of, I gotta put my hunting logs on my other characters because I need more freaking faction commentations. I'm trying to get that last emote I don't have.
I don't do shit with my faction. There's so many things for you to do in 14. Like it definitely has it all, you know. And I got Island Sanctuary.
That's what happens when your game is where your content is stays relevant. Unlike other MMOs, Warcraft, you're playing the patch. You're not playing the entire game. With 14, you're playing this entire ass game.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's crazy.
A lot of MMOs are like that. you're really only playing the current patch. You're not playing the entire game. That's why 14 gets so much of a, respects your time, because you could drop that game for 6 months, come right back, and what you're doing is still relevant, and you'll still find people to do it. That's also why 14 is taken, so that you have mandatory dungeons.
Yep. And so you could do dailies on your 90, get synced down to help somebody who just started the game today.
Oh God, I hate that though. I do hate that. Dude, I'm like, please give me something 60 and up, baby. On 70 and up. For real. Like,
turn on that 1,000 Paws of Total Rock again, for the love of God.
If I'm a fucking scholar, I shouldn't be doing this shit as a scholar, aka a fucking arcanist with a goddamn fairy. Like, no.
I will say, I'm okay with that because it's a little bit faster, because, Celine will do all the healing, and I will just DPS to make this bitch go faster.
Yeah. There's that, but it's so boring. Like, that shit, when you're trying to grind after a long day of work, it's like, man, this just about to put me to sleep. It just kind of breaks. It kind of breaks the excitement. Like,
yeah, it breaks
especially
the
coming off of like 90 content. Like, oh man,
right.
That tree in Abyssos broke me.
Abyssos is just all around like a lot.
Oh my god. I didn't know this game could be that hard.
Yeah.
When you actually start doing hard content.
Yep.
It's like you'll see the cast bar and it's already full. It's like, whoa, the cast bar wasn't there. What happened? You see the AoE icon and you dodge it. You're out of the icon, but you still get hit by it. It's like, no, you didn't dodge it. I'm like, no, but I did. It's like, no, you did.
Like that, you being on the floor says differently.
And guess what? You did. I'm like, why is it so strong? I should be able to eat 1 or 2 of these.
Nah. Wait till you it's like, nah, you can't do that. And then wait till you hit Savage. Wait till you hit the harder difficulties.
Oh no, I gotta get my item level up. That's the other thing.
So much extreme and savage backlog content that we can just go do that I don't even think it's worth it to be thinking about Endwalker. Like, that's the thing with Chris. Chris will be like, oh, y'all want to run this ultimate? And we're like, Chris, we haven't run the Savage yet. We can't.
No.
We haven't even...
But you could just but the thing about it though,
we
is you haven't done like a real raid progression yet. Like, that's the thing about it. And I think doing it on ultimate would be the most fun. It would piss us off, but doing an actual raid progress where we actually have to like learn the mechanics, it would be a good time. It'd be fun. 8D doing a real progression.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for it.
I'd just rather do the ones for Heaven's Ward before I do the newest one, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Nah. Nah. Because the thing about it is, like, doing the newest one would be perfectly fine, mostly because the stuff you got is a bit more relevant. The rewards are a bit more relevant. It's there, and then it prepares you for the next one.
No,
but I haven't
unless
been
your item level is not unless
one.
your max item level. I'm not going anywhere near that shit because of the way that the regular shit hits and it's one shotting me. Yeah, no, thank you.
The mechanics are literally just gonna one shot you. It doesn't matter what your item level is; it's just gonna kill you.
No, I've seen people survive it.
We'll see.
That aren't tanks?
Yes. Because not everything kills.
Probably pop the defensive cooldown.
Well, no. I've seen both Madrid and Darren survive things and die to things. No difference in cooldown.
I've died to things and survived the same things, you know? So I don't fucking get it.
Don't get hit.
I don't fucking get it. All right. Talk to me when you do the content. That's all I'm saying.
Called out. All right.
But who has real rating experience? What the fuck?
Us. We've been rating in 14. You haven't been running the Endwalker raids.
Rating lately.
I'm just saying. These 14 raids, they got teeth.
Right.
And I'm not
talking about raids in general. I'm talking about these specifically.
But yeah, does anybody have one more thing before we wrap? Because, had a full episode.
Nope.
All right. Well, until next time, remember you can follow us all collectively around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com. I'm going in about an hour and some change to record an episode of Table Cheese. So subscribe to Table Cheese on the FGO podcast feed. Jalen, where can people find you?
Quinn Bishop, anywhere.
Madrid.
Speedwagon X.
All right, this has been a Know It's Good production. The video version is edited by Lana Twist of Mind. The audio version is edited by Iknowjones. Until next time, keep it cheesy.